Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we'll be making this webpage that we started making in the last video and make it look nicer by using CSS. If you don't know what they are, in the last video I explained that HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. As the name describes, CSS is more to style things and it doesn't actually change what the webpage says. But as you can see, these aren't really programming languages like the previous ones we used in the last videos before in this channel. So this video is going to be a bit shorter than the other ones because this is going to be adding a bit of CSS, and then it's also going to be about hosting it to make it a real website-ish web page, because it's only one. The next video we're gonna actually make it a website by adding more tabs or like parts of the website that aren't just one web page. So what are we waiting for? Let's continue. Here I have the file. This is the HTML file we were working on last time. So then, how do you add a CSS? There's 3 ways actually. You could either add a style element inside the head element of a document and type the CSS in it, or in every element you can add it as an attribute by typing style. But we're not gonna use those. We're just gonna make a new file. We're gonna name it styles.css. So then we're gonna look, so it's kind of like a hierarchy. The way that most styles get transferred from a parent to child element is by using more of a hierarchy. So as I said, as I have it here, wait, why is it not showing though? Oh, here it is. It's kind of laggy, but it's still there. This bottom part, just ignore it. It's because my computer's laggy. I don't have that much stuff open, I think. Why is it not? Oh my god, I think I just crashed everything. Okay. So it's kind of like, as I was saying, it's kind of like a hierarchy. If you, for example, make the text red in the body element, any other elements, because for example, any other elements, for example, look, the first 2 things in the webpage in the body are the H1, the heading, and the paragraph elements. So if you type something like making the font color red here, it will inherit from the parent to the child elements. So it inherited the red font color to the H1 and the paragraph. So that's just like a simple explanation for it. And now it's doing lagging again. Okay. But how does it work? How do we like actually type it? It doesn't use elements with like these brackets, I think they are called. It uses the curly brackets to start a rule set. So we're just gonna type body with the curly braces, the curly brackets, and then we're gonna type background color. So we're gonna make it dark mode because as you can see in my website, it's dark because it's better. Like nobody uses light mode, right? Like on any web page or any app or whatever, most people, like 90% of the time, they use dark mode and not light mode. We're not gonna make it like changeable, like toggle. We're not gonna make a toggle button. We're gonna make that in later video, but so we're just gonna make it dark mode for default. So all we need to do is set the background color to black or super dark gray. If you're using VS Code, I think you have a color picker like this, so you can set the exact shade of color you want by using RGB values. And if you want, there can be you can also make it RGBA, so red, green, blue, alpha, to make it transparent. But we're not gonna do that. Just set it to black. We're just gonna set this to black, and that's it. But then, because it doesn't work. Wait. Then we're gonna make the font color. You don't really have to type font color. I mean, you can't do that. You just have to type color, and then I'm gonna set it to white. Then now let's try it out. Wait, why isn't it showing up? Why is it still like light mode? Well, that's because we haven't yet connected the CSS file to the HTML. Well, how do we do this? This is a completely separate file. I mean, sure, but if it's in the same folder, then it should work. All we have to type is a link element. Link with a rel attribute saying style sheet because it is a style sheet, and then we have to type the href to let the HTML know what is it actually called. So in this case, it's called styles.css. That's it. Now when we try it, as you can see here, in the last video I explained the difference between elements with a starting and closing tag, like that. This one only has a starting one. You don't need to like end it. So let's try it out. And it works. It looks better to your eyesight because it's dark mode. Of course, you won't go blind, especially if you have like 100% brightness. But the font is still ugly, just to say the least. But what about like GitHub, for example, uses a real font, like it's better. It uses a good font. Well, this is actually very easy as well. All you have to do is type in font family with a hyphen, and then you can set it to any font you want. Let's say impact, and I mean it works, but it's not. I don't think it's suitable for this kind of web page. It's very bold and tight, so it just looks bad. Because I think it's more suitable for emphasizing things rather than using it for the whole website. So we're just gonna use Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif. And let's try that out. And now look at the difference. It looks so good now. I mean, it's not like it's beautiful still, but it looks better than what it was before. Then, do you remember these? Do you remember in HTML how to make them not be inline? Because these are inline elements, so how do you not make them inline? Well, in the last video, I explained that you could just use a break element, but you'd have to use it every single time in between every single inline element, and there are a lot here. Say, look, from 48 to 57, that's 9. Wait, yeah, that's 9 elements. Meaning you have to type 9 break elements, I think. Yeah. One for each of these. But there's an easier way. All you have to do, because we don't want the whole web page to not be inline, because we could still want there to be specific spots where only that spot is blocked, like not inline, the opposite of inline. All we'd have to do is, as you see here, there's a div element. A div element is used to group elements together. It has no special meaning at all. It represents children. So do you remember the start of the video? I said the parent element inherits to the child elements, the children. It can be used with the class, lang, and title attributes to mark up semantics common to a group of consecutive elements. To make it not sound like more English, if you like don't understand, I'm gonna say it in like English. What it means is that it's used to group together elements so you can style them using CSS and other things to grab a specific block of content, because you don't want to grab every single thing. But still, how do we do that? There may be multiple divs in a web page, and we don't want to grab all of them either. So we could what we can do is either add an ID, which is a unique attribute for that can only be used for absolutely only one element. Or we can use a class, which can be used for multiple elements to style things. So we're just gonna use a class, use a class, because you could want other divs that still have don't use inline elements. All we have to do is type a class, and you can set it to whatever you want. In this case, blocky. Then, for a class, we use dot and then the name of the class, so blocky. Then add the curly braces and display block. That's why I named it blocky, because yes, it's a block. Then what this does, wait, we need to add the asterisk so it goes to every single child element. Then we will reload. Wait, what? Oh, I think it's because I didn't save this. Okay, then there we go. They're like not inline anymore. They're block. But don't you think they're a little bit too squished together? Shouldn't they be even a little bit further apart, because there are a lot? Well, yes, you can do that. All you have to do is add a margin top, let's say, about 10 px. And now they're a little bit more separated. You can set this to whatever you want. So if you want to have fun or something, you can set it to 100 or even 1,000. What this will do is just space it way even more and make it painful for the user to scroll through all of it. yeah, I don't think there is any limit to this, so you can set it to like any number you want, like 100,000, and it will just make the whole page way painful. Look at the scrolling bar, like right there. It's like trying its best. It's actually like going very slow. Okay, let's just drag it down. And there's the last element. But no, nobody wants to do that. Let's just say I think 20 should be enough. About 20, yeah. Or maybe not, but I'm gonna leave it like that. But now, how do I actually make it so it's on the internet or something? Yeah, you can just host it on GitHub. If you don't already have a GitHub account, you should make one because it's very useful just to host test websites. And so let's make, all you have to do is make your account and everything else. Make a new repository. I'm gonna set it to basic. Wait, what? Basic web page. You don't have to add a description, but if you want like just a basic web page, and then what was I saying? Sorry, I just came from the kitchen. Oh yeah. So you can either choose to make it private or public, so that either no one can see it, or you can choose who sees it, or everyone can see it. We don't need any of this. You don't really need to worry about it. Then all you have to do is upload the files. So we have to click on this. You can either drag them or just click on this. And then we only need this was the thumbnail for the last video. We only need these two files. The index and the cells. Then processing. Now, but how do it's still not a real web page or site, right? Not yeah. There's like one more step. That is, go to pages on settings, and then click on main branch and save. Now, it says here. It's gonna say here. Wait. And when you go to pages, then there should be an environment like section here. You know, there's not. What? Yeah, it's currently being built from the main branch. So you still you need some patience. That's why. And there's like tutorials here. Is it done now? Yes, it is. So look, there should be a thing saying environments active. And then back here says your site is live at this. It's just your username, your GitHub username, and github.io, and the name of the repository. So now it's actually a real web page that even you, if you want, you watching this right now, you can visit this by copying like this link, or you could just make your own one. That's why it's a tutorial. Anyways, that is the end of this video. So bye.